Hello, Taurus. I'm Poetic Heretic, and this is your March 2020 Tarot forecast. I'll be giving you a Celtic Cross reading for all Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon individuals out there to see what insight, advice, and information we can gain into your month of March 2020. All right, so without further ado, let us begin. So we would like a Celtic Cross reading for all Taurus people, Sun, Rising, and Moon for the month of March 2020. Let us see what we get. And there we have it. For your current outside influences, you have the Knight of Wands reversed. For the challenge card, the Three of Wands reversed. For the underlying energy, the Ten of Pentacles. For the past, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. This is already shaping up to be an interesting reading. For what you hope to achieve, the Fool reversed. For the near future, the Ten of Cups. For your attitude or position on the situation, the Empress reversed. For the outside force coming in, Strength. For your hopes or fears, the Seven of Swords reversed. And a final outcome card of the Five of Wands. Oh boy. Okay. So let us dive into this. Beginning your current outside influences right around the beginning of the month. This is how you are starting the month of March. You got the Knight of Wands reversed. So first of all, this may represent an individual who causes perhaps a bit of conflict with you, particularly an adult male fire sign, with this being the Knight of Wands. That would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, so be wary of that. But what I think we're very much seeing here also, perhaps even more than the idea of a potential conflict with a person, especially with the Three of Wands card following this one, is this idea of the general energy of the Knight of Wands saying either you want to push forward with it a lot, with the energy of it, that great ambition and assertion and motivation and getting things done and all of that sort of thing, or you want to pull back. It could be either extreme. Nights are about extremes. And I'm almost tempted to say that maybe what many of you need to do this month is pull back. Have you been burning the candle at both ends? As I have a candle burning there in the background. Have you been working too hard? Have you been exhausting yourself? Do you need to decrease the amount of action and physical effort that you're putting into things for your own well-being? Well, only you can answer that, but there seems to be a fairly strong indication of that here. Or are you at the opposite extreme of that? Are you feeling perhaps not just lethargic, but like it's difficult for you to feel involved with anything. Maybe you need to give yourself a bit of a push. So anyway, as I mentioned, for the challenge card, you got the Three of Wands. It did come up reversed, but let's look at it upright. Three of Wands talks about this idea of expanding into new territories. So we could say on a very basic level, that is your challenge this month. But again, as I just went over, could it be that many of you need to take a bit of a time out from that this month? You need to relax your efforts some so that you don't overextend yourself. Or could it be just the opposite? Could some of you need to give yourself a bit of a push? Again, nights are about extremes. All right, so for the underlying energy, everything forming a foundation for your current situation this month, you got the Ten of Pentacles. So very positive card indeed. Great success, manifestation, financial windfalls and financial success, money coming your way, harmony with family, a sense of great accomplishment and achievement. This is what is supporting you this month. So it's like saying you are likely supported this month by your past achievements, especially in a financial or material sense. And then with another 10 coming up, we have the 10th house being activated, your public life, your public image this month playing a significant role, perhaps some changes or strong developments in that area, the role that you play, so to speak, in a very public and overt way. For the past and issues you've had to deal with that then lead into the present, you got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Was there some kind of new beginning in the realm of money, in the realm of work, or in the realm of the material world in some other way that did not turn out to be such a good thing? A new beginning that maybe has not been so good, even though you initially expected it to be. Could this be something that has caused you to be working too hard, and thus in the present you need to take a break from the looks of it with the cards here? Could this represent shady dealings? Well, that's one of the meanings that I notice with this card from time to time, and its reversal is this idea of like the dark side of money, shady dealings, that then may be affecting your present circumstances. So do be aware of that. If someone seems a little untrustworthy, maybe that Knight of Wands, give them a little extra scrutiny this month, I would say, especially with Mercury still being retrograde in Pisces for some time. For what you hope to achieve, you got the Fool reverse. This is what you're reaching for this month, your highest hope, your highest goal. So this could connect in with our theme of taking a break, taking it easy. But for others, it may also be, or it may be instead, this idea of you're hoping to overcome a blockage to a new chapter of your life, a new adventure, a new spontaneous act, a new act of daring. Do you need to be perhaps a bit more spontaneous, a bit more risky, that sort of thing? If so, then be like the Fool and take that leap of faith. For the near future, representing about the first week or two of the month, you got the 10 of Cups. Great joy, great happiness, especially around family and with emotional matters, around relationships in general. With it being another 10, of course, we have this idea again of manifestation and the 10th house of your career and public image, your calling in life, that being activated in a significant way this month. And both cards that we got for that are very positive cards. And so even though it looks like you have dealt with some stresses and you will continue to deal with some stresses in the future, there may be, in addition to that, some really good stuff happening in like a financial and or emotional sense, but particularly connected to your public image, your career, your reputation, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of positivity to help temper some of that more stressful sort of negative energy, I suppose. For your attitude or position on the situation, about halfway through the month, you got the Empress reversed. So you may be feeling like, again, kind of like with what I was just saying, like your kingdom is in a bit of disarray, even though you feel largely like there is this financial success coming in, this emotional harmony, this really good, sweet stuff happening. The reversal here is saying that you're feeling like, well, there's still some things that are in disorder, though. There's still some disarray. It's not perfect. Maybe it's still quite good, but it's not perfect. And so the Empress reverse can sometimes suggest in its reversal a need to focus on the receptivity, the softness, the openness, the optimism, the sweetness of the card in its upright position that it sort of signifies, very much so. So I would say consider that this month. Also, let us note, almost missed that is another 3. You got 2 3s in this reading. So third house is also activated, your third house of communication, mental activity, short distance travel, and anything having to do with like writing or perhaps even publishing. So that third house, and remember, Mercury, the ruler of the third house, is retrograde in Pisces this month. It's already, its signal is boosted for all of us right now. That third house is being activated for you, and it looks like it may be in a bit of a challenging way, I have to be honest. So again, communication, mental activity, short distance travel, expect more events surrounding any or all of those topics this month. For the outside force coming in, you got strength. This is likely someone or something coming at you, not necessarily representing you yourself. So that's interesting, though, because the strength card represents this idea of using the mind to tame our darker, more volatile emotions. And so this could be someone in your life who embodies this energy and maybe helps inspire you to take on some of it. But this could also even be a situation that comes to you that represents this kind of energy, this like faith in yourself, belief in yourself kind of energy. And again, perhaps even giving you an opportunity to take on some of that yourself, to have a kind compassion to your anger, your sadness, your rage, whatever it happens to be, your more volatile, like difficult to control emotions, being able to sort of temper them with that kind, compassionate stance that this card represents. And thus you have this idea of strength of character. For your hopes or fears, you got the 7 of Swords reversed. So a couple different things coming to me for this card. Are some of you hoping that you can get away with something this month? Or maybe you notice someone else trying to get away with something and you don't find that acceptable. Well, time will tell, as we see with this final outcome card coming up here, that 5 of Wands. It looks like there's still some perhaps some conflict in our midst. But, well, whenever I read the 7 of Swords in its reversal, I see this idea so often of like a desire for things to get back to normal, or maybe things are getting back to normal. But remember, this is just falling in your hopes or fears. So it may be a hope that things get back to normal, that there doesn't have to be conflict or treachery. But I would say be very careful of this being like a sort of false hope, because what we see in your cards this month is indicators of conflict and treachery. So there may be a desire to sort of escape reality in some sense this month. And of course, it's perfectly understandable that you would want to do that. And with Mercury and Pisces, I think we're all kind of wanting to escape reality right now. But I would say, be very much aware that that's what it is. And on that note, your final outcome card this month is indeed the Five of Wands. Now, this isn't always outright conflict. It can sometimes simply represent the idea more of like competition, like a sort of friendly competition. But in other cases, indeed, I've seen this card manifest as intense conflict before. Now, before you panic, let me note that we aren't seeing real heavy hitters here like the Tower card or anything. But nevertheless, this is a card of conflict, a card of ego battles, a card of conflicting intentions, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even more in some cases, people who have different ideas about what should happen, and they're all out of alignment. And you're likely one of the 2, 3, 4, 5 or more. So that could pose a bit of a challenge. Good that you're passing through the strength card, though, as we saw earlier, prior to getting to that point, because that shows me, or that tells me, that you likely will have the wherewithal to deal with that conflict when it comes up. In fact, let's just draw a little 11th card here real quick to see what happens. It's the Seven of Pentacles reversed, indicating very often, again, similar in ways to the Seven of Swords reversed. When I see this card, it often enough is this idea of things getting back to normal. So hopefully they do, but they probably won't until there is some conflict that is explored and reconciled in some way. So there you have it, Taurus. Overall, it's sort of a mixed bag this month, as it so often is. There is some stress, but remember, you also got those two magnificent tens, the 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. And so there's some sweetness, some very potent sweetness in the mix to help temper the bitterness, I suppose. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already, as I'm always streaming more astrology and tarot related content. And I hope you have a great month of March 2020. And I hope to see you next time. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world.